Mass tort claimants usually don't know you at all. They don't know you. They don't owe you anything. The second you finish the call, that potential client is one click away from another firm. That means the moment that they hang up, they may not even remember your firm's name. There's zero loyalty, no brand recognition, no grace period. And that's why your intake process has to be sharper, faster, and more educational than ever. So if you don't sign them fast, they'll likely move on. Welcome to the Intake Playbook, the podcast where we transform your law firm's intake process into a secret weapon. I'm your host, Gary Falkowitz, and I've spent more than a decade helping law firms across the country maximize their intake performance. If you want to stop leaving cases on the table, create a better client experience, and grow your revenue, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. All right, so let me tell you something that you may already know, but may not have completely appreciated. Most personal injury clients already know the brand they're calling. They saw you on TV, they heard about you from a friend, they've driven past your billboard. There's a sense of familiarity. There's a comfort level. But with mass torts, totally different story. Mass tort claimants usually don't know you at all. They type something into Google, they saw a commercial at 11 o'clock in the evening, they clicked on a social media ad, and now they're calling a firm they've never heard of before. That means the moment that they hang up, they may not even remember your firm's name. There's zero loyalty, no brand recognition, no grace period. With PI, you might get a little more slack because of the familiarity, but with mass torts, you get none. The second you finish the call, that potential client is one click away from another firm. And that's why your intake process has to be sharper, faster, and more educational than ever. Because if you don't establish expertise and stay top of mind, you'll lose them to a competitor who will. I want to give you 4 bullet points about what mass torts intake really requires to win. Number 1, immediate urgency. You need to treat every mass tort call like it's your only shot. There's no potential grace period. They don't know you. They don't owe you anything. They may not even remember you. So if you don't sign them fast, they'll likely move on. And that's the mentality I need your team to adopt. Number 2, long-term follow-up. When I owned a call center, we would often get leads that other law firms gave up on. And they would say, Gary, can your team do additional follow-up? We don't have the resources to do it. Some of these leads are 3, 4, 5, 6 months old. And I got to tell you, we would sign so many of them. Some of them were 6 or 9 months old that still had viable claims, but the law firms didn't have the resources, or they didn't have the intention or desire to keep following up. Long-term follow-up is necessary. Even if they qualify, they won't remember many times your firm the next day unless you remind them. So tight, persistent follow-up is non-negotiable. Number 3, educate to impress. PI claimants already understand the premise that, hey, if I was hurt and it was caused by somebody else, I likely need a personal injury lawyer. But mass tort claimants, all they know is that they saw a commercial that said, if you took this product and suffered this injury, we can help. They don't know why. They don't know what the dangers associated with it are. They don't know what the impetus to the litigation is. All they know is A, B, call us. And most of them have A, maybe some portion of B, and they call. You need to be able to explain why their injury connects to a certain product. And the more education that you provide, the more you impress them. And when you impress, by its own definition, you're leaving a mark. Let me give you a quick story. A couple nights ago, I took my family to the Mets game. Incredible game, big win. And late in the night, actually the second to last pitch of the game, a foul ball came in our direction. And for a split second, I said, oh man, I think I'm going to catch this ball. I moved over a little bit. It got caught in the lights. I lost it. And then I refound it. I stuck my hands out confidently, and I caught that ball in front of my family. The fans went wild. I handed it to my son, Landon, and it was one of those best day ever moments. Would have been even better, obviously, if we were complete with Ethan there. But here's the thing. Landon's a tough one to impress, just like me. But when you do, it leaves a tattoo on the brain. And that look that he had when I gave him the ball immediately after catching it was one of being impressed. I know he's going to remember that moment, just like I will. But that's intake. If you can educate and impress a mass torts claimant in that very first conversation, they will remember you. And when they remember you, they're going to want to work with you. And number 4, compete as an unknown. Don't fool yourself by saying, well, we're a major mass tort firm. To the client or potential client, you're just another name on Google. You have to introduce yourself. You have to prove your expertise, and you have to earn their trust from zero. Folks, listen, mass torts and PI share the same fundamentals, right? Speed, follow-up, qualification, decision-making, but the key difference is brand recognition. PI clients often know who they're calling. Mass tort claimants often don't. That means that reps can't afford to be passive. They must act with urgency, educate to impress, and build trust fast. Because if they don't, the claimant won't just move on. They'll move on without even remembering who you were. Let's be better. Thank you for listening to the Intake Playbook Podcast. If this episode sparked a new idea or insight, take a moment to screenshot it and post it in the Intake Playbook group on Facebook. Share what resonated with you or what you'd like me to dive into next. Your input helps shape this podcast, and I'd love to hear from you. Let me ask you this. Is your intake process maximizing every opportunity? If not, I created the Intake Masterclass to help. Inside, you'll get access to the tools and strategies I've used to help firms transform their intake process and turn missed opportunities into measurable wins. Plus, you'll join a network of professionals all focused on growing their firms. The ROI you'll see from refining your intake will speak for itself. Visit intakeplaybook.com today and start making every lead count. Thank you again for spending your time with me on the Intake Playbook Podcast. Remember, intake isn't just about systems. It's about building trust and creating connections. Keep pushing forward. And if you're looking for more resources or details from today's episode, check out the show notes at intakeplaybook.com. I'll see you there.